It's not what you're capable of. It's what you're willing to do. Everybody hear me?
Belief in your own dignity, your own worth, and your own somebodyness.
But I know I'm not going to stop putting one foot in front of the other every single day. And I encourage you to do the same.
Will is a powerful thing. Ask yourself, what are you willing to do?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Culture Church podcast. I'm your host, Brendan Shalucci, and with me, as always, are my co-hosts, Adam Holland and Denari Beard. So I want to just see how you guys been doing. What's up? How's your week been?
It's been busy, honestly, getting ready for the holiday season. So just trying to get all my presents for like my family members and friends, not everybody wants too much stuff. So like, I'm like, yo, chill out. Like,
who be asking for the most?
I'm not gonna put no names out there. My mom,
I know.
Y'all know who is the main one, but my mom is also up there too. But it's winding down right now. I'm just finishing work as well too, so I'm getting happy. The holiday season is here, just to wind down, relax my family as well too. So, what about you, Adam?
No, that's good, bro. I mean, my last couple of weeks have been good. Everybody's healthy in the family. Everybody's good. Can't wait for everybody to come home for the holidays, of course.
For sure.
And recently, I just started coaching at Penn Charter, coaching basketball. So that's been really fun. We're in the middle of the season, a couple bumps and bruises, but the team's meshing well. We're growing together. But the more and more I've been over there, I've just been so thinking about, wow, I really miss being an athlete. I miss so much of playing, being out there, even
the
practicing.
Competitiveness,
my nature. The other day, I got in a shooting contest. One of our shooters, Kev, we're sitting there going back and forth. And I'm like, dang, I wish I could just be back out there playing. I miss it, bro. I know you probably can't answer this to Chooch, but DB, I know you probably miss being an athlete as well.
Yeah, no, I do. Sometimes, especially because now we're in our coaching days now, it's like, man, I still got a little I still got a little juice. I still got a little juice. So sometimes, I miss it sometimes, but then when I'm out there, especially as a football coach, I sometimes see the hit. Sometimes I'm like, you know what, I'm good off of those hits sometimes. So it's sometimes the hit or miss, depending on the situation. But the moments are always there for me as well. So what about you?
Nah, definitely. I mean, one more rolled ankle, I definitely would have been taken off. So I don't miss that at all. But in reality, time to close.
That's because you would attack the hoop. And you'd be 3 feet in the air. You'd be up there for 3 seconds, bro.
I'll be on the ground the whole time.
Yo, we gotta add a clip of Adam going up for a layup on
his
huddle. Y'all gotta see this. It is so funny. This man's
that's probably saves guys. I got a bad back, rolled ankle right now, but in reality, time to close the yearbook because in reality, we're in the past.
We're in the now. And now, actually, we are very excited to introduce our first guest. This is my good friend, Quincy Bright. We met about a year ago. He's a phenomenal high school pitcher. We can't wait to see what he does, and we're glad to have him here. So, what's up, man? Tell me how you been.
Welcome, Brody.
I've been good. I don't know.
Sometimes it's good, man.
Nah, I'm good though. Just finished the bullpen today though. Went well. I was dotting up. I did what I wanted to do. I said what I wanted to do.
Nice.
So it's just big things coming in for 2024.
Oh, really very excited. Very excited to see that happen.
No, that's great, bro. And I think, like you said, the reason why we definitely wanted to have Quincy on today because, like you said, we talk about our past and obviously Chooch is still playing, but we got to look towards the future, right? You got to look towards the now, obviously as well. But, what you can do to grow the game, how you can be to be an impact in the future, and I think that's great. So Quincy's a baseball player, obviously, and I work for Perfect Game, one of the largest baseball scouting services in the country. And right now, Quincy's the #1 ranked player in Connecticut, and I believe he's the top 150 ranked player in his entire class in 2026 class.
Talk to him, Quincy.
There's more work to be done for sure, but from our experiences, I know it's probably changed a little bit, but what is it about baseball that truly speaks to you?
I feel like baseball is a game of life, so it's everything that you do in your regular day basis pertains to baseball. So it's I feel like the organization is a big thing for me, and that's something I really have been honing in and being present in the moment. And me and my dad talk about this a lot, being present in the moment and not thinking ahead of time, but like I said, being present. So it's me being organized with just making simple things in the morning, making my bed. That's one task I got done up today.
So it's start your day off right,
That's a big task though.
So it's simple. It's little things, and what I'm starting to realize more from my freshman year is the little things matter. You know, being tedious on arm care, you know, things you don't want to do really. So it's like I'm seeing big improvements already from first bullpen today. So it's like, yeah, that's it.
I'm gonna tell you, man, like that. I really love how you said like baseball's like a game of life, because there's so many lessons that you learn in this game that you bring into your life. And I'm gonna tell you one thing, like when we first met about a year ago at BPC, you came in through a bullpen. And I'm gonna say, like, first of all, y'all, this kid's something special, man. This man, I see, like, I like the cool part about you that I really like is that when you walk into a place, like, I knew who you were when you got in there, but you didn't act like you expected people to know who you are, and that's something that's really special, especially in people that like have like high followings at a young age. We talked about this with our boy Reese. We went to high school with this kid, Reese Whitley, phenomenal swimmer, Olympian, and he always treated everything very like humbly, even though he knew people knew who he was. And I just really like that about you, man. And this man came out and threw like 94.7 as like a 15-year-old, and we're sitting there like, oh my gosh.
That's crazy. That is crazy. I mean, I think that one thing you really did say is that being tedious on the little things, focusing on the little stuff, because when you are naturally talented, it's very easy to get caught up and forget about the little things that got you to that point, right? Like, especially as a pitcher, like, you know, making sure your cadence, making sure your rhythm's under control, making sure, you know, you're closing your front side, making your arm catch up, obviously making sure, you know, you're staying aligned to the target. But everybody wants to throw 100. Everybody wants to throw 95. Everyone wants to hit home runs, but nobody wants to run sprints. Nobody wants to be in the weight room. Nobody wants to do the stuff that isn't so glorious or isn't so hyped up. But in reality, that's why guys get to where they got to get to, because they do the little things and they've mastered their craft to such a point. And I'm glad that you learn it now as, you know, a 15, 16-year-old, because it's much better to learn it now than it is when you're 20, 22, and now you're behind the 8 ball, behind everybody else.
Yeah.
100%. So now I got to ask, how has baseball changed for you from being a younger guy watching older guys in high school and stuff to kind of growing into that yourself?
I would definitely say a lot of showcases.
Yeah.
There's a lot of showcases, and I don't see nothing wrong with the showcases, especially unless like you need it and to get exposed. But yeah, I'm not really sure, because I don't know.
I mean, it's interesting because, like, I was talking about this with your pop a little bit. Like, we had talked about kind of how you're like growing into learning how to do the things that people may not always want to do, like kind of building up as an athlete, getting ready for a new season instead of always like being at 100%. Because we were talking about how first there's like the MLK Pro Day, then there's like your high school season. Then there's showcases over the summer, like big All-American games, stuff like that. And then in the fall, there's big tournaments and stuff like that. So they're expecting you to be at 100% at a young age for such a long time. But like you said, also, there's a good part to it as well, where like there's kids that need to get showcased. There's kids that need to get in front. Adam will attest to that being part of Perfect Game 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
Like,
so I think some kids know when they're ready, some kids don't. Like a lot of things, so a lot of the negatives we see out there, which is a shame, is that, like, you know, parents try to push their kids before they're ready. And, you know, the kids are like, all right, well, I'm listening to my parent. You know, he probably knows what's best for me. When in reality, he does. But in some instances, you know, this is why I love my job so much, because people reach out to me like, hey, do you think Quincy's ready? Hey, do you think Robbie's ready? Hey, do you think Johnny's ready? And I'm like, in reality, probably not. You know, I think showcases are great because they will allow you to showcase yourself and allow you to measure and stack up where you are, right? I think I went to one national showcase my entire PG career, right? But I knew I was ready. I knew I was confident. I knew when I showed up, I was going to show out. And at the same time, I use it as a parameter kind of to realize, like, okay, I'm better than that guy in that thing, but I need to work on that thing. And I think DB can say the same thing about combine, 7-on-7 in the football area, that, you know, you got to be ready before you even do that.
Right. And then just going back to, I want you guys to explain to the audience a little bit about the showcases a little bit more so they can get a good idea. Because not for people like me, who I don't know too much baseball. I know a little bit of baseball from them because I've grown up as my best friends, but I don't know too much. But like, just let the audience know, like, what is these showcases like, and tell them a little bit more about those showcases.
Yeah, absolutely. So like, showcases are basically, instead of going and watching a team play and watching like a certain player, it's like a bunch of players come together, they sign up, probably pay a fee. sometimes a little too much, can't lie. And these guys get timed on their 60, outfield velocity, like so many metrics now.
Right.
And then sometimes there'll be games, sometimes it'll be like bullpens and like in the batting cages and stuff like that. It's basically just kids showing off their skills that sometimes can apply and hopefully do apply to their play on the field.
Exactly. And it's like I said, it's kind of more of an individualized event instead of a team aspect where you go to a tournament or, you go to a team camp and they're like, this is kind of one-on-one for the entire time. So when you do your 60-yard dash, which is comparison to 40-yard dash, you're racing against somebody. Absolutely. When you're doing your outfield velo, infield velo, there's leaderboards where you can see this guy through 95, this guy through 93, and so on. So that's kind of like the competitive nature of it is fun, but it's more individualized where guys are really going out there to put their best foot forward in every single capacity. So that's how it really goes.
And then that's how it's kind of the same as well for like the football aspect of it, because like the biggest aspects for us is the 40 time, and the 3-line cone, and then also like doing for football is more the physical competition, so it's always like the 1-on-1. So for the wide receivers and DBs, they're always doing 1-on-1s. Running backs and linebackers are doing 1-on-1s. For the linemen as well, we're doing 1-on-1. So it's like more the physical aspect and trying to show like who's more dominant on the field as well. So that's more how it looks on the football field as well too. So then like, like I just thought about like this time on the aspect of us being on the football field, me being on the football field, and you guys being on the baseball field. And, we saw the aspect of social media over time starting to grow, right? And it was really interesting because we saw a little bit of how fast it was going, but I don't think, I think at like places, I don't think everybody was ready for social media. So like Quincy, what do you think? Like, how do you see social media like grow in your eyes? Like it's so fast already, especially while you're in this limelight of baseball.
I like it. Honestly, I like it because you get to show your progress. That's one thing I like to show. I like to show my progress. I like to show everybody what I'm doing. And I also like, when I post all my stuff, either whether it's hitting or pitching, it hits the little guys, So like that's the biggest part I like.
That's interesting.
It hits the little guys, hit the little people. So it's like when they reach out to me, when kids reach out to me, I look up to you, you're my mentor, That's like, that gives me motivation to keep going and keep doing what I'm doing.
It's like it's a different way of leading by example. I mean, usually sometimes when you lead by example, we've always talked about like guys on the field like that are going the hardest and stuff like that. But now you have more of a platform to be able to reach more people. Say like that's why I love doing those the stories every day where I say like brick by brick. There it's just like day after day, and it's going to build up, and it's going to build up, and I know you're doing the same thing, which is awesome.
No, I think social media has definitely enhanced the kind of like the aura and the experience of sports in general, especially like obviously like on the baseball side. Like when me and Chooch played in Perfect Game and PBR and Prospect Select, stuff like that, like it was like here and there they post a couple videos for you to get some exposure out. Hey, like one kid, if he was really, really good, he got put on Instagram or Twitter. Now it's everywhere. Like I know for me personally, like I post kids every single day on Instagram and Twitter trying to get them exposed to college coaches, get them recruited, stuff like that. And like it's nuts. But I know like it probably can be a lot for you because there's probably some trolls out there, there's probably haters out there, there's probably people out there that are probably like, this kid's not that good, this kid's like that. So like stuff like that, I think is really a testament to how mature and responsible you are and how well you go about your business, that you can kind of overlook those things and just like you said, I'm only doing it for me, and I'm doing it to influence and impact somebody else.
And speaking on that, it's like I also took a break from Instagram too. It's just like I wanted that time away to like really find, like this year I really, like I said earlier, like I really wanted to find being present in a moment and really like feeling that and grasping that. So it was like from probably August to like October, I'm just now starting to post more. So it's like me doing that, I feel way more confident. It's like throughout those months when I didn't post, I get comments, I get text messages, DMs. I'm like this and that. I don't pay attention. You're not hurting me when you do that, So it's just like if anything, you're making me want to go harder. So it's like just proving not proving people wrong for my like own self-esteem, but like just proving people wrong just to show like I am who
just
I'm.
Prove yourself right.
No, but what I think you really said, what you guys are already self-aware of that stuff, like when to take a break from social media, right? And also, what I think people tend to not realize is is social media. That stuff don't really matter no
Don't
way.
mean
Like,
nothing.
right? So nobody really knows how you really feeling. Nobody besides you and your peoples, right? So like, you gotta think about that the same way too. And I'm glad you're really aware of that early, like at your age, because as you continue to grow, it's only gonna get brighter. That light's only gonna get brighter. So like, just remember that, bro, too. Like, just remember, you're gonna have all these haters, you're gonna have all these doubters. Remember, like, your people got you, right? So like, that's deep, bro. So just keep remembering that to yourself, bro, for real, because that's really big, for real. That's big, though, and that's good to think that, bro. So big respect for you, though, bro, for real, that you really aware of that, bro, for real.
Yeah,
I enjoy my following.
Yeah.
Though. Like, I really do, and it's like I'm blessed to have people around me and certain people around me to guide me and to figure out, like, not do it for me, but like give me tips and cues to be like, yo, don't do that, don't do this. So it's like, it's really good. So,
and to like piggyback off what you were saying about social media too, another thing is like sometimes we get caught in a day and age where people feel like they have to post what other people want them to see instead of, you got to realize that that's yours. Right. That's your Instagram. That's your TikTok, whatever it is. You post what you want. Like, I like even like the simplest things. Like, I like posting songs on my Instagram because I'm like, I enjoy that. I want to share that with people that want to listen to music too. Like, it's mine. I'm gonna do what I want.
Sometimes, Quincy, you know, it be whack. It be whack. Don't lie. It be whack.
I have a large range. Large range of music that I enjoy.
It be whack.
All right, DJ Herbo, come on now.
And sometimes people don't like that. Like, they don't like what to see, or how do I say this? They don't like when you don't post what they want to see. They don't like that. So they start. Stop watching you, stop doing that, this and that. So it's like, I also started to realize I don't care what people think.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, I'm gonna keep posting what I would like to post. I'm gonna keep posting flicks, me getting flies sometimes. So, I'm gonna keep posting. I'm gonna keep posting me getting fly. I'm gonna keep posting, music I like, and even if it's not about baseball, I like to step outside of baseball too, show people who I am.
Yeah,
I think that's beautiful, bro. Because, like you said, you're gonna keep doing you. At the end of the day, like you're gonna wake up every day, and it's not gonna be anybody else waking you up besides yourself, right? And I think in this day and age where, especially as being an athlete, everybody gets certain athletes can get a lot of praise, can get a lot of hate, can get a lot of love, especially on Instagram, whether it is fans out there. But there's obviously guys out there in the game right now that are doing it, playing the game and doing it their way. Ronald Acuna, Jazz Chisholm, Fernando Tatis, guys like in our past, John Farrell Willis, Felix Hernandez, guys have been fired. They had that passion and that fire, and people kind of hate on them for it. But at the same time, it's like, I'm not going to change the way I am because that's what you want me to do. Like, who are you? You're literally nobody. Like, I make millions of dollars, I got millions of fans. I'm not going to change myself because you don't like it. But like, I know that's some guys for us, but for you, like, who do you look up to? What athletes, baseball players you look up, or athletes in general that you admire?
I'm gonna say Shohei Ohtani. I'm gonna be honest though, cause like I really want to do the two-way thing. So and I know it's gonna be hard. I know you gotta put in both work. I was talking to JJ I was talking to JJ Weatherlock today, the projected first overall pick for this year, and he was like, he was just telling me that there was a guy in West Virginia that's trying to do the two-way thing too, but he was like, it's really hard. You got to go to pitching meetings, the offensive meetings too, and I was like, yeah, I'm ready for that. Like, I really want to do that, and that's something I want to do. So it's like, with that being said, like, I know my arm is gonna get me in the door, so I'm gonna make it work. So like, if my arm gets me in the door, I'm gonna be like, oh, let me hit two.
Yes, sir.
So
talk that talk.
And remember this too, like, it's Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
There's one person in the world doing that at the high level. Yeah. So if it was, like, it's not even just like the saying, if it was easy, everybody would do it. If it, like, one guy's doing it. But if that's your dream, you chase that. Because everybody's going to tell you that you can't. Right. I promise you this. But like he said, that circle that believes in you, I believe you can do that. And I know these guys do too. I know your pops believes that you can do that. And a lot of people do that are close to you. But everybody else is going to tell you no. But you can't listen to anybody, bro. Keep those blinders up.
Thank you.
No, definitely, bro, because that's a very hard thing to do. Like, as a hitter myself and as a pitcher over there, to do both is very, very hard. But I can already tell from the work ethic, from the way you speak, from the way you carry yourself. And like, you just came from a bullpen. Like, you just came from a workout to come here and record this. So I know work is first. Like, work is first, play later. So I mean, I think that's a great mindset for you to have. at a young age because, like I said, once you get to the future, bro, nobody can stop you. Nobody can stop you, man.
And my dad instilled that in me early. I used to want to go play with my friends. Like, I want to go outside. Let me go outside and play. He like, no, get that working. I'm like, I got you.
Yeah, just make sure you always perfect that craft, right? Yeah. Just always keep the main thing the main thing. You know, we always say here too. So, you know, like also we wanted to say like congratulations on, you know, committing to Mississippi State. You know, so congratulations. Let's get a round of applause right here. Thank you. Congratulations. That's big, you know. You know, we know as 3 college athletes, you know how hard it was to pick a school, and we know how many schools, especially at your level, how many schools were trying to get at you and try to get you out of school. So tell us a little bit about that process and tell us why you choose Mississippi State a little bit too.
All right, so the process started beginning of 8th grade.
Say that real quick for the people real quick. Yeah, say that guy. That what people said real quick. Say it again.
Like beginning of 8th grade.
All right.
Jeez. Yeah, so
nice.
Basically, really, I got all the calls in October. That's what I remember. Yeah, I got all the calls in October. Every single school in the SEC, couple schools from the ACC, not bigging my head up, nothing. Not trying to do that, but you know,
it's a fact. Man.
Yeah,
So
I had.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah. So you know, throughout that process, you know, you start talking to all the schools the first day, the first week, and then it starts down and down. So you start choosing like. You don't start choosing, but you see which school wants you the most. And by that, I mean, you know, they'll hit your advisor, your college advisor up and be like, oh, could we get a phone call with Quincy tonight, this and that. So it's like Mississippi State always just, you know, always kept calling for me, kept asking, could we get on a meeting, So we just kind of built that relationship with Coach Cheeseborough. That's my guy. Yeah, love that guy. Yeah. So, you know, kept building that relationship up. And then came around May. Got on a Zoom meeting. They offered. They offered the 2A too. They also believed in me. So it was like that's another thing. So, you know, throughout that time,
that's tough, yeah.
Throughout that time, I kept taking my process slow. You know, but they was always my number one. They was always my number one. So, kept taking that process slow. I would say in June. Yeah, the end of June, that's when I made my decision. I made my decision at Applebee's, like, so I was eating.
It don't matter where you made the decision, you committed, bro.
Applebee's, they got something in their food that just make you feel like, I can do something.
Applebee's, that 2 for 2.
I had steak and mashed potatoes.
Talk to him. There it is right there. I know,
Talk to him. I had steak and mashed potatoes, and mind you, I also was playing at a tournament, so I was like, wasn't one of my best tournaments, so I was like, let me just do it. Let me get it out the way, you know. And it was SEC, and I wanted to play in the SEC. So I called him. I was like, Coach, I'm ready to be a Bulldog. He's like, you ready to be a Bulldog? So I was like, yes, sir. And then, you know, after that, it was from there. Just ever since then, Mississippi State, you know. So,
hey, man, that's dope.
Yeah,
like, I think what you said the best, like, you know, they believed in you, that they offered that 2-way. A lot of schools don't do it. A lot of schools know, like, hey, you're going to come here. Like, you might come here and try to be a 2-way, like, especially in football. You might try to play both, but at the end of the day, once you get here, we're going to make you decide. They're going to make you decide.
And the thing is, they broke it down for me, too. They was like, yo, we'll have you pitch Friday night, play Saturday night in the field. So I was like, And then I'm talking to, like, some of the guys there right now, couple guys right there right now. Once you in left field, they cook for you in the outfield. I'm like,
Mississippi, bro. First of all, SEC baseball in general, different breed. Different breed. Like different. I would get so excited. Like, I mean, love Tulane, love the American Conference, great competition. But I would love when we would go play Ole Miss or LSU. Got jumping, bro. It gets jumping. I'm gonna tell you one thing. Mississippi State, you know those like apartments they have.
They said, mind you, they said I could stay in there too.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I think I got a year of eligibility left. I got two. I got two left, bro.
I'm fanboy. I'm still a fanboy. It don't matter.
I can go back. Nah, bro. I think that's really crazy though, because I think to find the right school is that obviously you want them to believe in you. At the same time, it's got to feel like home. Like, you got to think, bro. You got to up and root from your hometown, from your family, from your parents, from your girl, from your dog, wherever it is, right? Like, you got to up and leave, and you got to find a place that, like, you can be comfortable at, where your parents don't got to worry and wonder, like, is my son going to be okay when he's there? Like, is he getting taken care of? Is he getting fed? You know, is the laundry getting done? You know, stuff like that. But in reality, those things you got to think about, and people don't really think about. And I think, like you said, be having those real conversations with your advisor, your coaches, your parents, where it's like you think it's the right decision for me. And I think in reality, at the end of the day, you got to find a spot that you're going to get better at, that you're going to continue to get better as a player and as a man. So that's big ups to you, bro.
Yeah, thank you.
So speaking of that kind of like getting better and stuff like that, so we're all on like constant quest, like we said, brick by brick, getting better. What are some of the things that you're working on right now, like to get better both on the field, both ways, and like sometimes off the field too?
Like I said, organization. That's something I'm still working with right now. Just forgetting, taking my vitamins every day, taking my creatine every day. That's just little things, you know. But
creatine's
Creatine
does things to you.
Wish I discovered that a little sooner.
If you're an athlete, take creatine. I don't care what no one said. Take it. It's good for you.
At least have like a nutritionist or something. They can just tell you like what you need to eat, what you need to drink, stuff like that, just so you get ahead of the game.
Yeah, my bad. Continue.
You guys might go to creatine, like, all right.
But organization, you know, just especially with the academics, organization with my mind, and clarity, just having clarity. So I feel like, you know, during the school week, having clarity that whole week and getting my Monday off. Like when I start my Monday off strong, I'm good for the rest of the week.
Got to be that Monday. Got to start the week off right.
Exactly.
So how about on the field? Anything like your swing, mechanics, different pitches?
Oh, so one thing I realized that I don't need to do as much is hit every day. People, you know, because you can overuse your body, and you don't want to overuse your body before, you know, you ready to get into major leagues or Pro Bowl. So it's like I'm trying to save my body. So I hit like probably once, twice a week, and I still get the same amount of work in as if I hit every day.
And it's good to understand that at an early age that you don't need to. Because, so like for me as a pitcher, like I only got a certain amount of reps a day. I use them up as like best I can. But a hitter, you can take as many swings as you want. But sometimes that's not good for you, bro. You got to be able to know that, hey, if I like, let's say you're in the bigs, you have a sick day or something like that. You have a couple days off. Are you going to be able to come back in and have confidence to hit? Absolutely, you need to.
Yeah.
So it's great that you're learning that, to be able to be like, look, I may take a couple days off from hitting, but I'm still going to come in there and be the same guy, you know. And
it's like when I take a couple of days off from hitting, I'm still working out. You know, I'm still doing arm care. I'm throwing in between. I'm starting to throw 6 days a week now. So I throw 6 days a week, hit one time, you know. But I feel like the overuse on your body, you have to be aware that, like, especially now as we're young, you know, our bodies are so much stronger than what we think they are. So like
y'all are evolving, bro.
It's crazy. I was just about to say that. Like now, I think the kids are so much more like in tune with their bodies now because of all the technology they're in front of, right? So like they know. I know you got a bunch of stuff for your recovery methods too, like that. I know you might want to talk about in a second too. So like that's the type of stuff like we wasn't like getting ready for, like as our time, and now you can see like. I think the new generation growing up is like they're more in tune with their bodies. They know what their bodies need. They know what rest their bodies need. They know what supplements other bodies need now. So it's like more interesting to see, like, hear him talk about this stuff because like this is a young age. Like this is a young age for him to really know all this stuff right now, like and how to really take care of his body and knows what his body properly needs for him to properly perform every time on that mound. So like that's tough too. You want to talk a little bit about like the recovery process?
The recovery process is big. I'm just starting to realize that now. Like stretching, I'm stretching more every day.
Good.
Like deep breathing, stretching, like yoga kind of. And also, what I just did this 2 days ago before I came here. I did acupuncture needling. Yeah, I get that a lot. I used to like not want that, but now I'm asking for it.
It's a little weird at the beginning.
And then, you know,
I get. Well, I haven't done acupuncture, but I do needling a lot. I actually got needled today. But and it's like it's a little weird at first, but like. If like you just sit there on your phone, bro, you barely notice it, you know.
Exactly. Like sometimes I might twitch a little bit because my arm, because my arm's a little tight. So, but I usually get it on my forearm, either my forearm or the back of my traps. But cupping, you know, usual. But I don't really think, or not think, but I don't really use cupping a lot. Like it's either I either use a scrape. Either that or just deep breathing, stretching, like I said.
You ever do those like recovery boots and stuff like that? Or the compression boots?
I actually used it. My first time using it was at Area Code, but I don't use that.
I like them. They're good stuff.
When I got to college, started using it, but. To your point, like DB, you said, like he's so in tune with his body, and a lot of these kids now are kind of just evolving. They kind of know where they're going. What do you think? This is a question for y'all too. Well, I guess myself as well. But like when we were in high school, like what do you wish we would have worked on, or would have known, or would have had the more time to actually focus on and like help us become a better athlete?
I already got it.
Go ahead.
Hydration. Like seriously, I used to in high school. I cramped probably my junior and my probably at least like since my sophomore year I started. I played both ways, and I probably cramped maybe 3 times a year, right? And always be like in the biggest moments in the biggest games. So especially my junior year, I cramped probably 3 times at our league games, right? So I was tired of like I was pissed off. I was like, yo, like, what is wrong with me? Like, why do I keep cramping up? Like, and I got to the point like my cramps where I couldn't even run anymore. Like, and then sometimes I got to the point where both of my legs were cramped too. So like, so that's how bad I'd be low I was, and like I would never understand like how I could like even get that low to that point, right? So my biggest thing was like, why did I not learn about hydration like when I was properly young, like taught when I was younger, and like how to properly hydrate? And it doesn't mean you hydrate a day before a game day. It's 2 days before the game day, especially for a football team. Like we always tell our team like we gotta hydrate 2 days before, because like you're not properly hydrated the day before the game day. So like that's something I didn't take consider in my head, and like especially when you're playing more reps and more rep counts. Like I'm playing both sides of the field and special teams as well too. So it was like I'm never getting off the field. So like my only time getting water was like timeouts. Yeah. So it was just like, so that was like the biggest thing for me is just hydration, learning how to properly hydrate. And then like I really didn't learn how to properly hydrate until like I started running track, right? Wow. And then I didn't realize like how track is such an individualized sport coming off of football, and like learning that I needed that hydration to learn how to properly hydrate, because track I'm constantly running too, like track nonstop, boy. You just you running like that's practice all day, like that's practice. So you like it don't stop. So I learned like when I was doing track, like I would get some cramps as well too, and I really understood when our track coach would just teach us about properly hydrating us and teaching us like like he's like, yo, you gotta drink like 16 gallons before like, or not 16 ounces before every day before like you wake up in the morning and stuff like that. Is that I didn't learn that stuff before, and like on the football field, I was like, that stuff could have been useful, and like eating bananas and having that potassium in you, you know that, and then the electrolytes and stuff like that too. Like all this stuff played a point that I didn't really consider, especially until like track season into my senior year. So I was like, damn, like if I would have learned that earlier, I'm like, I've been straight. I would have been off the field this many times and having these bad issues and cramping. So
it's wild you say that too, because like when you said it, it unlocked like a memory for me. Because, do you remember sometimes in between innings when I was throwing, I'd have to get like stretched out in between innings, and definitely because I wasn't hydrated enough. That's a great point. It's a great point. And I mean, going back to your question, some of the things that I wish we knew like when we were younger a little bit was just like kind of a better understanding of how to go about strength and conditioning. I mean, we would like I'd go from swimming to baseball. So it'd be like in the fall I'm training for baseball, I'm going to like these tournaments and stuff like that, and then in the winter I'm just swimming. I'm just like kind of burning like crazy calories, and then baseball season comes and we're just like doing baseball workouts, but I never fully kind of understood how to build up as like an athlete, kind of like what you're doing now. And I didn't really understand until I got to like those college years. Like sometimes I'd go to LA Fitness and just start bench pressing. I like look back at that and I'm just like, oh my gosh, bro. No warm up, nothing, bro. Just straight
LA
to the
Fitness,
bench.
Your LA Fitness days.
My LA Fitness
basketball
days. And then basketball, yep. That was it. Just bench press and go play some hoops.
I mean, and for me, the biggest thing, he used to really getting buckets out there though, low-key.
And then he'd be trying to dunk. He still
can never be one-on-one.
I would succeed.
He would be dunking in LA. You know you can't dunk LA Fitness, right?
Do you remember the?
Because you can never be one-on-one.
Do you remember the time though?
I remember.
So
and I cooked you.
Just a quick story. Just a quick story. Quick side
I got a story about him too.
So there was Adam was over my house one time in high school, and there was a family behind me that had a basketball net, and I was like, Adam, let's go play one-on-one, and I start making shots. I start left and right. Oh my gosh! I think I got up like 7-0 and something, and I start talking trash because I mean I've never been up against Adam ever in basketball, and so of course like I gotta let him hear it a little bit. And this man Adam turned into Kobe Bryant real quick. Said, "Oh, you want to talk? All right, we can talk." And I didn't score the rest of the game. I think you won 11-7.
Yep.
It was real quick. It went by very fast. It was like I kind of blinked twice, and I was like, oh, I guess we're done.
That is a very true story, by the way. I could be really good at basketball. I'm not gonna say I am, but I could be. But in reality, to answer the question real quick, stretching.
Yeah.
I never took stretching seriously. I could show up, run a 6'8", show up, drop 15 points, show up, squat 400 pounds without stretching. Like, it was very normal to me.
Yeah.
And then my senior year, I pulled my hamstring. That was probably the first time I had my hamstring issues. And I just knew, I'm like, for what? And in reality, I just didn't take proper time and proper consideration and preparation of stretching. Like, mentally, I was there. I felt like I was physically there. But in reality, I'm like, for basketball, in high school, I'm about to go play 32 minutes. For baseball, I got to go play 7 innings and play a pretty tedious position, whether it's senior year I'm playing shortstop or playing center field. So it was like, I got to make sure that I'm able to obviously move laterally, be able to maintain myself throughout the entire course of the game. And it didn't really hit me until college, where I'm like, wow, like, I should be getting to my lift 30 minutes early. I should be getting to practice 45 minutes early to stretch and take BP or, stuff like that. And it really kind of hit me as I got older. Like, wow, I probably could have had some better years, a little longer stretches, a couple better performances if I took the time to actually just sit down, stretch, really kind of roll out, use a scraper. Because we had all this stuff, but I just like, I don't really need it. But I definitely wish I would have done that at my time when I was in high school.
Yeah. I mean, it's just kind of like we're talking about prioritizing the important things, man. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, when I go to the gym, bro, I'm there for like 4 hours because I'm sitting there. I warm up for like an hour, and then I get to like the stuff that I gotta do, because like that's so important. And I mean, you were given a God-given gift of athleticism, like especially at a young age. But I mean, like, I'm glad that you're able to learn that and share that, just how important it is. And to kind of switch over, we've been talking about like the physical game a lot. Let's talk about the mental game a bit. So when I was in high school, I was like kind of like the same way you were, low 90s. Like, that's going to give you a lot of success in high school. A lot of guys aren't going to see that from anywhere else. But adversity is inevitable, Yeah. So tell me about a time that you've gone through some adversity in your young career and how you dealt with it.
14U Select Fest.
Okay. All right.
I was talking to Adam about it too, a little bit. But 14U Select Fest. I remember all the emotions. Me. They said go to the bullpen. I had to run across the track. It was at the Fenway Stadium. JetBlue. It was at JetBlue. So ran across the track while the game was on national television. Somebody, I forgot who was pitching, but started warming up. My whole body was shaking. Yeah, I was shaking. I wasn't ready. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't ready for that. I'm gonna be honest. But I was in the bullpen. Nerves was up. Everything was shaking. I hear the crowd from over there. I'm like, dang, I'm coming up soon. I was like, dang. So, started warming up in the bullpen. Got my first couple pitches in. They were wild. I was spiking the ball. I was nervous. I was like, come on. Yeah. give me a couple down the middle. So, but then it was my turn. That's when it hit me. Like, I couldn't hear anything. Like, that's when it hit me. I got on the mound, ran to the mound, got my warm-up pitches in, and everything was. That's one thing. I think I'm gonna speak on this, but I wasn't present. I wasn't. I was there.
Bro, that's very easy.
I was
like to happen on the mound sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you one thing. Like, just a side note, when you like in your career, the stages are only gonna get bigger and bigger. Only more people watching. Hopefully one day 40,000. But control your breath. Work on your breath work, because the breath has so much importance, dog. It's helped me so much, like in my career, learning how to control the breath. Because when you're able to slow your heart rate down, time slows down. Yeah. If your heart rate's up, time moves so fast. I swear to you, there's been some times where I've messed up on the mound, and I'm like, that felt like 30 seconds. It felt like I was out there for 30 seconds. Yeah. But when you're able to slow the game down, all that, individualize the pitch, you'll almost be in like Zen out there. But continue what you were saying.
Yeah, but everything happened so fast, but like happened so fast, but like so slow at the same time. If that makes sense.
Wow. Yeah.
like I couldn't like when I tell you like I couldn't like hear any. It was blurry. It was like me catching the batter, but like I heard, like everything was moving so fast, and it was like I couldn't really control it.
Wow.
And what I'm realizing now is that like I wasn't being present. Like I was there, my physical aspect was there, but my mind wasn't there. And I feel like now it's like I kind of wish I got that time back, so I can just like just just make up for like all the strikes I wasn't throwing. Because like,
bro, I feel you. I promise you.
I'm telling you, like when I walk off that mound, I didn't even get it out. Like I didn't even get it out. I was walking the bases, like I was walking. It was in front of everybody, and it was it felt so embarrassed. I felt so embarrassed, and I was like, dang, bro, I'm letting my peoples down, I'm letting everybody down. It's on national television. So I walked up the mound. I'm like, this is my first time talking about it, for real. I walk off the mound, and it's like, I went in the dugout. I went all the way in back in the dugout. I just started crying, bro. Like that was like one of the toughest moments for me in my career. Like I just started crying. And it's like tears. It's like uncontrollable. I was like, dang, bro, like what am I doing? Like that was in front of everybody. I was on national television. Like you really just like you did that. And that's like it's like I was like, dang, man. And then Coach Flash talked to me. D. Gordon's dad. He talked to me, calmed me down, so everything's gonna be okay. But I told myself from that point on, and that point on out, nothing ever. I know stuff like that's gonna happen again, but I'm never gonna not be present and be like I couldn't tell you what I did wrong. Like I'm gonna be honest with you, I couldn't tell you what I did wrong, and it's there for people to see. I don't care. So like,
and that's a great point, because once you understand that, and you understand that at such a young age, because there's gonna be, like you said, there's going to be times where you don't know where the ball's going. It's okay. It's happened. Like it happens to everybody. Like you see it. But if you come off that mound and you understand what like you said, what happened there, you were in the moment, and you understand, I wasn't doing this right, I wasn't doing that right, I rushed a little bit, I pulled off a little bit too hard, because you're not going to be the same every day. You got to be like you want to work to be, but there's going to be outliers. So if you understand that and stay in the moment, so you know what you did wrong, just work on it the next day, and then you build from there.
Definitely, bro.
But then I would say, my bad, but then I would say like that's when like I really started getting those DMs for real.
Really?
I really started getting those DMs saying, yo, he's so wild, this and that. I got people saying, oh, he can't throw strike. That's when after that day, that's when I really started getting it. And ever since then, I just been head high, just being present.
Good. That's dope, bro. And that's how it should be. Like something you need those moments, those breaking points, those valleys, those low points where you're never gonna have it. You don't want it to happen again. You're gonna work so hard and be so strong mentally, physically, emotionally that like even if I do have a bad outing, I know I'm not gonna allow myself to dip below that line. And for those that don't know, at Perfect Game we have they're called select festivals. So essentially they're all American games for 11, 12, 13, and 14-year-olds. So we have like a national high school American game for all the seniors that are committed, probably going to get drafted. That's held in California, now it's held in Arizona. But every year we pick, roughly 25 to 28, 30 kids, the top 30 ranked kids in that class, and they go and all play against each other. So essentially, he did all this in an all-American game. And I was telling him, because I was like, I asked him about it. I'm like, oh, you made the festival, and he was rolling me. He was like, yo, he's like, that's one of my worst moments ever. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, I'm sorry to bring it up. I didn't know it was such a subject, but like, be able to speak on that right now, like I said, for the first time, that's great, because I talked to Tony Harper, John McAdams, Tyler Russo, Jeremy Brown, all the guys that picked Select Fest, that are the scouts for Perfect Game, and like I said, it's one of the best events of the year, bro. These kids get decked out in swag. They get tons of gear. Catchers get the new equipment. They get everything, bro. Like everything. Like this right here, they wouldn't even put that in there because it's not cool enough. You know what I'm saying? But like in reality,
it's gotta have a neon color on it or something.
They get like an MLB experience, and they're gonna treat you like an MLB player. So I know it's probably a lot going in, and I know it's like, wow, like this is probably the end of the world. You probably thought the end of the world was gonna happen. You probably thought, oh, my ranking's gonna drop, or something's gonna happen. But in reality, bro, like, you get to put in those situations at a young age so that you know how to handle it when you do turn 18, when you do get drafted, when you do go to college. So, it's better to have that failure younger. So now you know how to cope with it, you know how to deal with it, and kind of move forward with it.
And like I said, I don't really now. Before I would take that as a failure, but I take it as a learning moment. And I take all the adversity that I've been through as just learning experiences and learning lessons I've been through, just to keep building me more and more as a player. So yeah, that's it for.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah. And also just another thing, don't rush any of it. I know you want to get to the bigs. Everybody wants to get to the bigs, bro. But you got a lot of really awesome experiences along the way.
For sure.
Stay in the moment. Enjoy them.
And I'm glad that you had these goals of you never having being in that feeling that moment ever again, right? So for us as my friends, every year the start of the year as the New Year's coming up, I send our group chat send me all of our goals, right? And for that reason, I do that to keep us accountable, right? For us to all be accountable of each other's goals. And at the end of the year, we always talk about the goals that if we had our goals and how do we align with our goals? Do we hit them all of our goals? If not, why not? We all talk about why not. We add them back into our goals the following year, and we're going to provide our plan now, how we're going to excel this goal now. So, right? So, for you, and I think you've been already having a problem, thinking about, your goals in your head and think about the goals, for your body and what you need for your body. So, what are some of the goals for you coming into the new year you think you're about to ready to set this year for yourself?
It could be outside of baseball. Or
Anything, bro.
Anything.
Yeah, just outside of baseball, I just want to keep being a mentor. Just keep being a person that the younger people could look up to, and I find that big because as I get older and I really want to give back to the community.
Absolutely.
And do foundations and go to the hospitals. I enjoy that. I see it on TV. I enjoy that. I like helping kids. At Slackfest, for example, we did that. So we went to the hospital and we was having fun with the patients,
Right, yeah,
and the people that were sick. So it was that made me feel good as a person. And with on the field, it's just staying consistent.
Absolutely.
Being consistent. Hitting.
Yeah.
Pitching. Just being consistent. I hit consistently. I hit consistently. Throw strikes consistently. I'll be fine. So it's I'm also just letting things happen now. Just flowing, being in the moment. So it's
that, yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
I'm not as tensed as last year or nervous. I'm just I'm excited for this year, and I take these little wins as salt. This is gonna be a weird one, but like salt. You stay right in the middle. You're not too high, but you're not too low. You're right in the middle.
Yep.
So each moment that you take, enjoy that moment, because there's gonna be better days ahead. So
That's good, bro.
He's been at work right there.
That's really good. And I think some people obviously, have goals where whatever profession they're in or wherever they're living, they're like, oh, I want to make $1 million. Oh, I want to buy a new house. Probably the first time I ever heard somebody say one of my goals is to remain consistent. And I think that's powerful because if you're consistent with whatever you're doing, you're going to get to wherever you got to go. Yeah. You're on the right path.
Shout out episode 2.
Seriously, but that's a legitimate goal because a lot of people need to have that as a character trait to be consistent. And, something that you want to do, things you want to get to, you have to be consistent, right? Exactly. If you want to keep that ranking going up, you want to keep your teammates happy, your coaches happy, you want to keep getting all these followers, these people that all these people you that can look up to you. You got to be consistent, right? So that's great, bro. That's great.
And I think mentorship was the biggest thing that I heard you say too was big because earlier you said was when you the social media aspect, you it for the little guys too that reach out to you. So I think that's a big thing. I like you keeping forward and going forward is just remember there's other people, especially who have least predicament and least situation or less fortunate than you in, and they really do look up to you and let's use that still as that motivation too because some people if they don't see you working they be like I'm not working right. It's and you don't know how that power you have on people right now, but you have that effect on people right now. So just imagine that in people's positions as well too. So I really condemn you just to keep that mentorship, especially as you get older because as you're building up this sport, especially as a young black man, you gotta bring the young black men over with us. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it starts with you, but it gotta take all of us too. So
that's great, bro.
And I mean, like I said before, like you got a big following going. Never forget to be yourself, bro. Be as genuine as you can be. Always be you. That's all that matters. You know,
Humble.
Gotta be humble. And with that, Adam, you want to take us to the word of the day?
Oh yeah, of course, man. I mean, that's kind of for everybody. First and foremost, man, everybody give a shout out to Quincy Bright.
Yes, sir.
Also, let's make a note. This is Quincy's first time on like a podcast with like a camera in his face, stuff like that. I think you did an absolutely excellent job, bro.
One take.
Yeah, one take.
Just one take.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, seriously, man. I appreciate you for getting here. You know, it's been great. I hope that obviously you can see like how much impact you have on people, how much impact you can have in this world, not just as a baseball player, but as a human being, as a young black man, as a future father, future, you know, husband, right? Like this is like stuff that we pride ourselves on. Like we want to continue to be better every single day, not just for the athletes, not just for the young athletes, for young kids everywhere. That's a blessing that you want to do that going forward. And the word of the day, essentially, obviously, you know, it's Christmas time. Yeah. You know, happy holidays, everybody. But I want everybody to go around. Start with you, Quincy. You know, what are you most looking forward to this holiday season?
Just spending time with family, you know. That's it. Spending time with family and the food, honestly. Food,
What's your favorite food? Wait. What's your favorite food for Christmas?
Food,
What's your favorite Christmas food? Like, you got to tell me the plate match. You got to tell me the plate match.
This year,
yeah.
I'm going to have a Big Mac.
Okay.
Some oxtail.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. Pop, I'm coming too, Pop.
Save us a plate.
Save us a plate, yeah.
Yeah, some oxtail white rice, you know.
Cabbage, you know, cabbage, you know. Yeah. I don't hear no greens on the plate. Like, what's going on? I didn't hear no greens on the plate.
No greens on the plate.
Gotta prioritize nutrition.
Yeah, I hear that.
Nutrition.
I'm working.
You're still young. Don't worry about it.
Chooch, how about you? What you looking forward to this holiday season, man?
I'm gonna say, well, kind of throwing it back to what DB said a couple episodes ago about, you know, how we like to prioritize ourselves, take time for ourselves. I mean, boys are going on a little trip soon. Got a lot of like 2 lanes in a bowl soon. So I'm kind of bouncing around, having a little fun bit. And then obviously we're having a quiet Christmas this year. Just my brother, my parents, my nieces, and we're just gonna really enjoy just being with the family. You know what I mean?
That's dope. DB, how about you, bro?
Honestly, I'm just looking for this to reset. That's where the biggest thing. You know, I've been running around a lot just with getting out of season football, and then just getting out of season for. With work too, just resetting and getting ready for the next spring and winter for me, as you know, is going to be very big. So just to reset and like getting my thoughts and how I'm going to prepare for the new year and make sure I got my goals aligned and what goals I'm ready to set for next year and how am I going to execute them. So just really reset as well. So what do you think, Adam?
That's great, bro. And for me, man, I mean, Christmas is a beautiful holiday. Obviously, y'all know how big I am in my faith. Y'all know God is first. So, you know, definitely be able to celebrate that for sure. But as well, you know, see my family that comes back. Being able to put a joy and a smile on my nieces and my nephews and my family members' faces is beautiful, man. Going buying gifts and, you know, just seeing their joy and excitement. And obviously just the love that we share around everybody is going to be great. As well as, like you said, DB, I get a time kind of to relax. It's the off season right now for work. For basketball as well, you know, we're about to tune up after the new year. So I'm excited for the trips I'm going to take. I'm excited for the free time I have and the friends I can share with. And for that, you know, I'm grateful. Truly grateful.
Absolutely. I got to make one more shout out real quick. Yo, shout out to Cortland Red Dragons for winning the D3 National Championship.
From my alma mater, yes, sir. Go Red Dragons, baby.
Come on now, but yeah, shout out to the boys, though. Happy for you guys, though. Congrats, so.
And also just want to say, Quincy, thank you for your time, man. We really appreciate you. Any last words?
Everybody's process and journey is different, you know, and just, you know, if you just focus on your own journey, that's all I gotta say. Like, don't look at other people's journeys. You gotta focus on your own journey, and you gotta focus on your own process. That's it.
Thank you, bro. Really appreciate it.
Appreciate you, bro. For real, bro. That's dope, bro.
Yep. And that's a wrap. Thank y'all. Hope to catch you next time.
Sir.